Okay, welcome to ACT Prep Day 8. You should have downloaded your bell ringer or got it from me in class. It's the green one. And just take about 5 to 10 minutes, pause the video, work on these problems, and then when you come back, we will go over the answers. Okay, welcome back. Let's look at these answers. For number 1, I immediately go a negative times a positive means my answer is negative. Use calculator. 12 times 15 is 180. Again, fractions, these are difficult. You can see where they've been changed into improper fractions. Then a common denominator, they got a common denominator of 10, so that's going to make this 18, and this would be 25. We get 45 over 10, which can be simplified to as a mixed number of 4 and 1/2. You can't just go -1 times -2 and then 4/5 times 1/2. It doesn't work that way. When you multiply mixed numbers, you have to convert them to improper fractions. You will get an incorrect answer. And again, that's why I'm kind of pushing the calculator, because if you're bad at fractions, it's really easy. Here, if you look at this one, I don't do it their way. I recognize that you've got a 5 in a denominator and you have a 5 up above it. So 5, these two cancel out. This becomes -1. And you get 3 times -1 times -2 is 6. Negative times divided by negative is a positive. What's 64 divided by 8? 8. Same thing here. Negative divided by positive is a negative. If this was the ACT, I might round this down to 10 because then I would know it was 2.394 and hopefully something's close. But again, use your calculator and it will make it easier. All right. So our lesson today is fractions and reciprocals. Yeah, everybody loves fractions, right? Fraction, I tend to always use pizza when I'm talking about fractions because everybody knows we have a whole pizza and then it's cut into 6, 8, 10 slices. So you get a piece of the pizza. The number above the fraction bar is the numerator, and the one below it is going to be your denominator. However, when we compare fractions, we have to have the same denominators. And the reason why, if I had 2 pizzas sitting here and one was cut into 6 slices and one was cut into 8, if I said pick a slice of pizza, you would all gravitate towards the one that's cut into 6 slices. Why? Because those pieces are bigger than the one cut into 8 slices. So you can't compare them. If I was to say, oh, they're both a piece, they're the same size, you'd go, no, they're not, Miss Edwards. These are bigger over here. That's why they have to have a common denominator. Now, common ACT questions about fractions include, can you put them in order? You do that by using a common denominator, but you also, if you have your calculator, you can convert fractions into decimals and order them that way if you're better with decimals. You're going to have where you have to add and subtract fractions. And of all the things with fractions, these are my least favorite just because they're tedious. Multiplying fractions, I love multiplying. Multiplying and dividing fractions, yeah, I can do that. Because when you divide fractions, you need to remember same, change, flip. Keep the first fraction the same, change the division to multiplication, and then flip the second one. Use the reciprocal of the second fraction. And that's why we get into reciprocals. What is a reciprocal? It's literally just swapping the numerator and the denominator. That's all it is. And every number has a reciprocal except for 0. Because 0 is technically 0 over 1. When we flip it, you can see here we get 1 over 0. We can't define anything that's divided by 0. So that is the only number that does not have a reciprocal. And any whole number is going to be divided by 1. So if you see 5, that's really 5 over 1. So if we flip it, it's going to be 1/5. Here we've got 2/3. You just flip them, 3/2. It's just kind of like taking it and turning it over. Here's our ACT example. 7 2/3, when it's written as an improper fraction, the numerator is what? So here's where you have to remember. You go 3 times 7 is 21, plus 2 is 23. So this becomes 23 over 3. Okay, 23 over 3. If you're not good at that, you can take a calculator and you can put that in the calculator and say change to improper fraction. So here, the numerator is going to be 23. They just want to see, can you convert a mixed number to an improper fraction? Okay, so today we have 5 practice questions. So set 5 minutes on your timer, pause the video, see how well you do, kind of keep track of, did you use all your time, do you not? And use all those starring, circles, guess answers, all the strategies that we talked about. And when you're done, come back and we will check the answers. Okay, first one. When I have things like this, I tend to look at the answers. And I go through the answers here and go, okay, there's 3 with 5 halves, 1 with 7 thirds. Well, let's look. 7 thirds, that's going to be 2 1/3. 5 halves, that's going to be 2 1/2. So which one's the greatest? 5 halves. So it can't be A, can't be D. Then I look at the second one and go, are they all the same? They're not. So my choice is between 7 thirds and 5 fourths. 5 fourths is 1 1/4, and this one is 2 1/3. So it can't be this one. If I look at the third one, they're the exact same, so I know it's 5 fourths. So now I'm just concerned about this fourth one. What is bigger, 1/3 or 5/6? 5/6 is C. Now this one, this is actually how they value houses. Ask your parents, it really is. So if your house is worth $250,000 and it is assessed at 1/5 of its value, okay, so the first thing we have to do is 250,000 divided by 5. And this is really easy. What's 25 divided by 5? Well, you get 5, and then you just add the zeros on. Okay, so we're going to assess it on $5,000. The yearly tax rate is $3.20 per 100. So we need to divide this by 100. So that basically cancels out 2 zeros. So now it's on 50. So $3 and I can't make a decimal there. And 20 cents times 50. Now here's where I cheat a little. Not cheat, but estimate. I can do 50 times 3. If I do 50 times 3, then I know I've got, I missed a 0 here. That should be 500. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't put 4 there, so it should be 500. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully you caught it. If I ignore this 20 and I round down to 3, 3 times 500 gives me 1,500. Don't even have to pick up my calculator because there's only one value over there that's close, 1,600. Now this next one, let me take these off so you don't have to see. It says 2 numbers, X and Y, are reciprocals. Which expression is always true? I have students that struggle with this because they're not giving you numbers. This is very just ambiguous. Okay, so I tell them when they do something like this, pick a value for X and Y. I'm going to let X be equal to 2. So then the reciprocal of 2 would be 1/2. I didn't use 1 because the reciprocal of 1 is 1. Wouldn't do anything. And then I just take these 2 numbers and I plug them into the answers. Okay. 2 times 1/2, is that equal to 1? Ooh, yeah, looks like that might be the answer, but I want to double check. 2 minus 1/2, is that equal to 0? No, it's 1 1/2. 2 divided by 1/2, is that 1? No, because it's same, change, flip. 2, change to multiplication, flip it, times 2 is 4. 2 plus 1/2 is 2.5, not -1. And the 2 to the 1/2 power, that's the square root of 2. When you go to 1/2 power, that's saying take the square root. And that's 1 point something, something, something. Yeah. So yeah, the first one is the correct answer. It makes it much easier when you come up with a value for X and a value for Y. Otherwise, you're just trying to like just think about it, and it really messes students up. So hopefully that helped on that one. Let's get to our last one. Oh, you must have only had 4. A and B are reciprocals. And if A is greater than 0 and less than 1, then B must be what? Again, they're not giving you numbers. Well, pick a number for A. A's got to be greater than 0 but less than 1. What's my favorite one? And my easiest? 1/2. So if A is 1/2 and B is its reciprocal, then B must be equal to 2. So that means that B has got to be greater than 1. And I'm kind of worried. Let's try it with 1/4. It's 1/4. I flip it, it becomes 4. 1/3, it becomes 3. Yeah. So my answer is going to be K. They're greater than 1. Hopefully some good tips there. Your exit ticket, you've got 2 questions and then a bonus question. The bonus question will be 2 extra credit points. So they're asking you to do fractions. And remember, anytime you're doing fractions, your answer needs to be in its lowest form. So you need to simplify the fraction. And again, if you have any questions, check with me. I want 10 out of 10s. And see you for the next lesson. Bye.